Last night, the United States bombed an island most people have never heard of. Not a military base, not a weapons facility, an oil terminal. The single most important piece of energy infrastructure on the planet. 90% of Iran's oil exports flow through one island, 25 miles off the Iranian coast, and right now, it is burning. If you're wondering why gas prices just jumped, or why the global economy is about to be turned upside down, this is why. This island is the reason. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what Kharg Island is, why the US just struck it, and what happens to the world now that it's gone. I've been tracking the escalation between the US and Iran for years, and I want to be clear. What happened at Kharg Island is not just another airstrike. This is a fundamental shift in how this war is being fought. We're going to cover three things: what Kharg Island actually is and why it was the most valuable target in Iran, what the strike means for oil markets and the global economy, and how Iran is almost certainly going to respond. Stay until the end because Iran's likely retaliation options are something the mainstream media is completely glossing over, and one of them could be the most dangerous move in the Middle East in decades. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is Kharg Island? It's a small, flat island about 25 kilometers off the coast of Iran in the northern Persian Gulf. No mountains, no forests, just pipes, tanks, and terminals. It was purpose-built for one thing: pumping Iranian oil onto supertankers and sending it around the world. At its peak, Kharg Island handled over 90% of all Iranian oil exports. That is roughly 1.5 to 2 million barrels of oil every single day flowing through this one location. Iran's entire national budget, its military spending, its proxy network funding, its nuclear program, all of it is built on Kharg Island oil revenue. Without Kharg, Iran's economy doesn't just hurt, it hemorrhages. The island has been attacked before. During the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, Iraq bombed Kharg Island repeatedly. Iran rebuilt it every time, which tells you something about how critical it is. You don't rebuild something that expensive unless it's absolutely irreplaceable. This time is different. U.S. precision strikes with B-2 stealth bombers and bunker-busting munitions didn't just damage the loading terminals. They targeted the deep underground pipeline infrastructure that took decades to build. Rebuilding this, if Iran even can, would take years and cost tens of billions of dollars they no longer have. So why now? Iran has had Kharg Island for decades. The U.S. has had the capability to strike it for decades. Why did this happen today? The short answer is, Iran crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. Intelligence assessments confirmed that Iran was within weeks, possibly days, of producing enough enriched uranium for its first nuclear weapon. The calculation in Washington was brutal but simple. If Iran goes nuclear, every conventional military option disappears. Striking a nuclear-armed Iran is unthinkable. Striking a conventional Iran, even at enormous cost, is survivable. And the decision was made. Don't strike the nuclear facilities first. Strike Kharg Island first. Collapse Iran's revenue. Make it impossible to fund the nuclear program going forward. Economically decapitate the regime before the military strikes that follow. It is simultaneously the most economically devastating and most strategically calculated strike the United States has ever launched in the Middle East.
Now let's talk about what this means for you, because this isn't just a Middle East story. This is a global economy story. Iran produces roughly 3% of the world's oil. With Kharg Island offline, that supply disappears from global markets almost immediately. Oil prices have already spiked 40% since the strike was announced. But here's the thing most analysts are missing. It's not just Iranian oil. The moment Kharg Island burned, every oil shipping company in the world rerouted their tankers away from the Persian Gulf. Insurance premiums for Gulf shipping went to near impossible levels overnight. That means Saudi oil, UAE oil, Kuwaiti oil, all of it is now harder and more expensive to move. We're not talking about a 3% supply shock. We're talking about a potential 20 to 25% supply disruption if the conflict expands. Economists are already warning that if this escalates for another 30 days, we could see oil at $200 a barrel, gas at $8, $9, $10 a gallon in the United States, airline ticket prices doubling, food prices, which depend on fuel for transportation, surging across every market on Earth. Countries in the global south, already struggling with debt and food insecurity, are looking at genuine famine conditions if this lasts through the next harvest cycle. Now, here's what I promised you, the part nobody in mainstream media is talking about clearly enough. Iran has 4 realistic retaliation options, and each one is more dangerous than the last. Option 1, Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz. Not just threatens to close it, actually mines it and deploys fast attack boats to enforce the blockade. If this happens, 20% of the world's daily oil supply stops moving, full stop. Option 2, Hezbollah opens a full-scale northern front against Israel. Not rockets, a ground invasion from Lebanon. Israel would be forced to fight a two-front war while the U.S. is already engaged in the Gulf. Option 3, Iran activates sleeper cells and proxy networks to attack U.S. embassies, military facilities, and energy infrastructure across the region simultaneously. A dozen simultaneous strikes designed to overwhelm American response capacity. Option 4, and this is the one that keeps analysts awake at night, Iran accelerates its nuclear program underground, goes full sprint to a weapon, uses the chaos of the conventional war as cover to cross the nuclear threshold before anyone can stop them. Most analysts believe Iran pursues a combination of options 1 and 3 simultaneously: maximum economic damage, maximum geographic spread. Make the cost of this war unbearable for Washington as fast as possible. For the ordinary person, not the generals, not the oil traders, what does this actually mean? In the short term, fuel prices surge, airline routes are canceled, shipping costs spike on every product you buy. The inflation you felt from COVID supply chain disruptions will feel mild by comparison. In the medium term, if the conflict lasts 60 to 90 days, we are looking at a genuine global recession. Every major economy on Earth runs on energy. When energy becomes this expensive and this uncertain, investment stops, supply chains break, and unemployment rises. And for the Iranian people themselves, already suffering under decades of sanctions, this strike and its aftermath will be devastating. Not the regime, the people. So, what is Kharg Island, and why did the U.S. just bomb it? Kharg Island was the financial heart of the Iranian regime, the single choke point through which 90% of Iran's oil wealth flowed. The U.S. struck it not to win a battle, but to collapse the economic foundation that funds everything Iran does. The consequences are already spreading. Oil prices surging, global shipping disrupted, Iran's retaliation options on the table, each one capable of widening this into a conflict that reshapes the Middle East for a generation. The world just changed, and most people don't even know the name of the island that changed it. If this gave you a clearer picture of what's happening, hit subscribe. We break down these stories every week so you actually understand what's going on in the world. And drop in the comments, do you think this was the right call? I want to hear from you.